Hi guys, for today's video, I'm going to be filming the Ride or Die makeup tag. This has been all over YouTube lately. This was created by Jaclyn and it's just basically a tag stating your favorite makeup from each category. Like if you were on a desert island and if you could only grab one makeup product from each like makeup category, what would you grab? What are your Ride or Die products? I've loved watching these. I think it's super fun to see everyone's favorite products and like what they would grab in that moment. I am wearing all the products on my face today. I'm going to be talking about all of the products as well and why I think they're my Ride or Die and why I like it maybe compared to another product or something like that. I did talk about all the categories that Jaclyn talked about as well as adding a few of my own. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing what makeup products are my absolute favorites, and if you want to see my Ride or Die tag, just keep watching. I'm going to be starting off with primer, and I did try to just pick one product for each category, like truly pick out my Ride or Die. But for primer, I have two different primers because they do very different things, so I really wanted to talk about both. The first, you guys can probably guess, this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This is absolutely amazing. I cannot rave about this enough. This is my second bottle. I just cannot do my makeup without this, you guys. It is so good. It's like that beautiful fine mist. It smells really good. It just has that nice refreshing quality, silicone free, alcohol free, oil free, super good for my skin. It's water, it has glycerin, electrolytes, really freshes up your face, makes your foundation stick, and I just think it feels so good. I use it before my makeup, even after my makeup. It's just like the most refreshing mist. Even on no makeup days, when I'm not wearing any makeup at all, I absolutely need to spray this on my face. Sometimes I even spray it on my face at night for like a little refresher. I just think it's a super versatile product and I cannot do my makeup without this. Another primer I want to talk about is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer. This is so good and it is only $6, but I love this over any other primer that I've tried. I love the frosted packaging, the pump. I love anything with a pump. I feel like makes it so much better. I just can appreciate a pump so much. So this is like one of those silicone-y primers. If you've seen the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, this is an exact dupe for that primer, you guys. It just feels so good. There's none in my bottle. It's actually empty right now. I just ordered a new one the other day, so it's on the way. But it's basically that thin, clear, silicone-y, but it's not greasy. I feel like some silicone primers can tend to feel a little greasy, but this one does not feel greasy. It's super smoothing, smooths out all the bumps on my forehead, smooths out my pores, my lines, and really keeps my foundation on all day. So I highly recommend the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer, and this has definitely been my Ride or Die for a long time now. Alright guys, so now I'm going to move on to my Ride or Die foundation. You can probably guess what this is. If you can guess what it is, pause the video, leave me a comment in the description bar down below. I want to see if you guys actually know it because I pretty much use it in every tutorial I do. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I love this foundation. I cannot rave about it enough. I'm definitely that type of person that likes to try new foundations and switch back and forth, but I always end up going back to this one and I'm like, my skin looks so good and this is so much better than any foundation I've tried. I'm not much of a high-end foundation girl, but this is better than the high-end ones that I have tried. And again, I just always go back to this. And I know that the shade's always gonna match me. Some other drugstore foundations I find myself mixing and it's just not convenient for me. But in the Maybelline Fit Me line, I'm always 125 in like the spring summer months, and I'm always 120 Classic Ivory in the winter fall months. So it's just so convenient. It's that foundation I know is always gonna work for me. I highly recommend this foundation. Super smooth, super matte, stays on all day, and controls my oil. So I love this, super affordable, definitely my Ride or Die foundation. My Ride or Die concealer is definitely my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I love this so much. It makes my under eyes so smooth, so bright. It's super full coverage. I have oily skin, so it works super well. Even if you're normal skin, I think this would work. I love this. It's really full coverage without being thick. Some really full coverage concealer like the Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, that stuff is so thick and I hate it underneath my eyes, whereas this is still has a really nice liquidy thin consistency with full coverage. It blends out like a dream and I love the color. Again, I'm in NW20. One thing about this product that I just don't like is the packaging. It has this little pump, which usually, like you guys heard me mention, I love pumps and I so can appreciate a pump, but when something is this full coverage and it's kind of expensive, this is $21, I need something that's really going to help me control the amount of concealer I get because I don't need a lot of this concealer and this pumps out way too much. One pump I could probably do my under eyes 2 or 3 times. I do wish the packaging was a little different, but that's something I definitely look past because the formula and coverage of this is just so amazing. Moving on to powder, this tag has 2 categories for powder, face powder and under eye, and this one product covers both of those bases for me. This is the Mercier translucent powder. I cannot rave about this enough. And I'm so happy that I discovered this. I always had such trouble with my foundation staying on. You guys know, like I've said 100 times in this video, I suffer from oily skin. This keeps my foundation matte, it keeps it airbrushed, smooth, and just on my face all day. When I finished my first tub of this, I did take a little break. I was trying the RCMA, like I did Rimmel Stay Matte, Maybelline Matte and Poreless, NYX Translucent, and they're okay. Like face powders, I'm not completely picky. They're okay as long as you mattify and smooth out my skin, which a lot of those powders did, but none of them lasted on my skin like the Laura Mercier. And then when I finally repurchased this, I was like, holy crap, like I remember why I love this so much and I'm never gonna be without it. I love the packaging, I love the powder, and I really love that the powder isn't a stark white powder. If you can see, it's more of a tanny yellowy powder, but still blends out to be translucent. It's not the most finely milled powder, like comparing it to something like the RCMA. It is a little thicker milled, but I think that's what really helps it control my oils so well and really smooth out my face. So if you haven't tried the Laura Mercier and you suffer with your foundation and stuff staying on, I highly recommend this. It is beautiful underneath the eyes as well. I don't have problems with it being too drying or cakey. It's just super smooth and airbrushed, and I love this, and I will probably never want to be without this powder again. Moving on to bronzer, I kind of did struggle with this because I recently discovered a bronzer that I absolutely love so much in the month of August. So I was like, do I mention that because I really love it and I was reaching for it so much, or do I mention the one that's really tried and true for a year plus now? So I did go with my tried and true ride or die, and this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. I did decide that this is my ride or die because I was like, what bronzer did I constantly reach for in my videos before I got this new one? What was like the first bronzer that I absolutely fell in love with and constantly used? And it was the Chocolate Soleil. This is the original Chocolate Soleil. This is one of those like deluxe samples. This has lasted me forever now. I did hit pan, and I definitely plan on repurchasing this in the full size. It is the bronzer I have on my face today. It has such nice pigment. It's not overly pigmented, but it's like not like you're like sitting there trying to build up for hours, you know. Swirl it on a brush, it really glides on the face so smoothly. It smells so good, like all of the Too Faced chocolate products, and I just think it's like that perfect tone for my skin, and that's kind of hard to find in a bronzer. I love this because it's a nice warming bronzer without being orange or muddy or too red. It's just like that perfect undertone. I just think it's such an awesome product. I've been using it forever, so at the end of the day, this definitely is my ride or die bronzer. Moving on to my contour palette, I did have a little trouble picking my ride or die contour palette because contour palettes are something that I tend to switch out on a daily basis. I don't use the same one every day. But again, like this was kind of hard. I was tied up between this one and another one, and I was like, okay, Jackie, like someone says 1, 2, 3 favorite contour palette right now, which one are you grabbing? And this was the one that I chose. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. Absolutely amazing. You guys have probably heard this, and I love this. It is what I used to contour today. And as you can see with these two lighter powders, I hit major pan because I love just taking a big brush and setting the tops of my eyelids before I do any eyeshadow. So these powders are super soft, super pigmented, as you guys can see on my fingers right there. They're not powdery though. They're just super buttery, smooth, and amazing. This palette is in the 40s. It's a little expensive, but I think it is so worth it, and it is definitely the best contour palette I've ever tried. And I just love the variety because you have all of your different shades. You have like the pink highlight, the yellow highlight, the peachy highlight, perfect for deep skin tones, a super dark contour, again, perfect for deep skin tones, your warmer contour, and then your cooler contour. My perfect contour shade personally is mixing these two together, so I really don't ever touch this side of my palette. Sometimes I'll dip my brush like really lightly in there and hit the back sides of my contour, but I really use most of this palette, and I think it is so worth it. And Kat Von D's packaging, as you guys know, is always on point. So the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye is definitely my ride or die contour palette, and the one I would grab if I could only choose one. Now moving on to my ride or die blush. You guys know I don't wear blush. I don't like the way blush looks on me. A lot of the time I tend to just shy away from it and not use it at all. But when I do, the one I always reach for is my Benefit Box Powder in the shade Dallas. This is just such a beautiful mauve-y shade. It's almost like a little of a bronzer contour shade. It has like that pinky purpley undertone. It's super natural. I have it on today. It's like one of those blushes that are like a no blush kind of blush, like it barely shows up on your skin. I don't want to go on and on about it because I'm not like die hard blush, do you know what I mean? But it is my favorite when I do wear blush. Now we're gonna move on to my favorite part of makeup ever, which is highlighter. This was kind of hard for me to pick, but at the same time, it was kind of easy. I use these two highlighting products like pretty equally, and I don't love one more than the others. This is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter. That is such a tongue twister. Super Shock Cheek in the shade Wisp. It is just such a beautiful kind of like an antique-y gold shade. I love gold highlighters, but it's not like that bam yellow gold like maybe Anastasia So Hollywood Prosecco Pop. It is definitely more of a muted, soft, antique-y bronze gold. I'm looking in the viewfinder. I don't know if you guys can really see if the camera's picking up. It is just such a beautiful, soft gold. I have it on today, but I do have it layered with another highlighter, so I'm going to swatch it for you guys so you guys can see the true color. This is what that one looks like. As you can see, it's like that antique-y gold color. It looks so beautiful on my skin. I love wearing this on its own. This was just like one of the first highlighters that I was like, damn, like this highlighter is intense and I love it so much. Before I got really into highlighters, I use the crap out of this. Like I said, no matter how many highlighters I accumulate, because you guys know I'm a highlighter junkie, I always go back to this one, and it's definitely one of my ride or dies. But I had to mention just one more highlighter because I use this one just as much as I use this, and the combo of these two highlighters together I have on my face today, it's probably my favorite highlighter combo. This is my Anastasia Glow Kit in the shade That Glow. I know this is so basic, but how could you not have this as your ride or die? These powders are so beautiful, and I want to talk about two shades in particular, Sunburst and Bubbly. Actually, Wisp is a perfect dupe for Bubbly in the Glow Kit if you were looking for that. They're literally like identical shades. If you want to see them side by side, you can go check out my drugstore dupes for high-end products video. I did swatch those side by side. So my favorite highlighters in here are Sunburst and Bubbly. The combination of these two plus Wisp is just like my ride or die highlighter combo. Look at that. It is just so intense, and it's like that beautiful champagne-y gold color, which is my favorite shades to highlight with. But I just love this Glow Kit so much. I think it complements my skin tone so well, and especially those colors, they're just so beautiful. Here they are right next to each other. As you guys can see, I will show you a swatch. They're super bright, super intense, and they just gleam on my face. And again, in combination with that Colourpop one, definitely my ride or die highlighters. My ride or die brow product is definitely the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I love this. It just makes doing my brows so easy, and the color is perfect. I love more of a cool tone brown. This is in the shade Medium Brown. I think this was formerly known as Ash Brown, but it does have just like that cool undertone, which I love for my hair. I just don't like the way a warm brow looks on me. I feel like a lot of those brunette brow shades are just way too warm for me. I love a cool tone brow shade, and the pencil on this is just so fine, and it comes with a spoolie as well. I love this brow product. I always go back to it, and this is like my third or fourth one, and it just makes my brows so quick and easy. I do have a little bit of a difficult time getting my brows to be even, making sure they're filled in and perfect. This gets my brows as close to perfect as they're gonna get, and I love this a lot. Alright guys, so I just want to start off by apologizing for if you hear any banging or hammering. I did start this video because I was like, oh good, they're not doing any construction today, but of course now they're hammering away. So if you hear some banging, I'm so sorry, but I really want to finish filming this video. My ride or die eye primer is definitely my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I cannot rave about this thing enough. It is just a creamy eye base, and this one has a more of a yellow undertone. This just keeps the oils on my eyelids super under control, smooths out my eyelids, full coverage on my eyelids, covers any discoloring, veins, and just once I set this, it's good to go. It is a little tacky, so you do have to set it, but it keeps my eyeshadow on like no other. So this is totally my ride or die eyeshadow primer, and I cannot do my eyeshadow without this. I don't know if this particular category was in Jaclyn Hill's ride or die tag, but I wanted to add it in anyway, and this is my ride or die single shadow. So I don't use a lot of single shadows on my channel. You guys know I'm like a palette junkie, and I do neglect my single shadows, but I wanted to mention Stilla Kitten because I use this so much. This is the metallic shade I have on my eyelids right now, and it is just so good, you guys. It is just that beautiful, intense champagne shade. Look at this. This is one swatch. Like, oh my god, this wet is a dream. And I feel like it's just one of those classic cult shades in the makeup community now, and it looks so good on every skin tone. My ride or die eyeshadow palette was literally the easiest thing for me to pick ever. This is my Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I cannot rave about this freaking palette enough. If this was like being discontinued, if I hit pan, if I ran out of one of my favorite shades, I would probably buy like 2 backups of these because it is so amazing. The packaging is so cute. Too Faced kills it with their packaging all the time. Not only that, I just love, I don't want to blind you guys, I just love the selection of colors in here. I love Too Faced shadows as a whole. So these are some of my favorite shades in the chocolate bar palette. It is just so amazing. Like, they just have the perfect amount of pigmentation. I'm wearing this palette all over my eyes today. This is my everyday go-to palette for school. If I'm just going out, this is what I know works for me. And this is basically the look that I do all the time, like that warm brown in the crease, dark brown outer corner with the sparkly shade on my eye. You can do so many different combinations with this palette. I've done dark smoky eyes, I've done pops of color. This white is super, super nice. It's a really nice creamy white shade. Some of my favorite shades of this palette are white chocolate, salted caramel, marzipan, milk chocolate, and I believe this is like hot chocolate or like something fudge, the darker brown shade, I don't know. Those are definitely my favorite shadows. Super pigmented, super easy to blend. It smells so good, but literally even without the packaging, without the smell, these shadows are just my favorite shadows to work with, and I highly, highly recommend the Chocolate Bar palette. My Ride or Die liquid liner, I was a little conflicted on, not because I have two I'm choosing between, because the one that I've been using for years now, probably like 3 or 4 years now, to create my wing and just to do my liquid liner in general, it's the one I always reach for, but at the same time, I'm like, I wish this liner was different. I wish this liner was different, but I still can't find anything that I like as much as this. So this is the Maybelline Align Stiletto. It has, I don't know if you guys can see, like that felt tip, but it's just so easy to use. Mine is very dried out, so don't take this as like the blackness of it. It is a lot darker because mine is so old right now. I've gone through like maybe 10 of these, I have to say, honestly. This liner definitely doesn't dry matte. So recently I've been doing this and then topping it with the NYX matte liner, but this is just still my holy grail. I just love this liner so much. I love the applicator, makes it so easy for me to do my wing. Maybelline, I doubt you're gonna watch this, but if you ever watch this, this needs to be in a matte formula as well, because this eyeliner is so good. Everything is so good about it. I love it. It's definitely my Ride or Die. I just wish it came in a matte formula. I have 2 Ride or Die mascaras I want to mention in this video: Clump Crusher by Covergirl and the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. I like this one for my upper lashes and this one for my lower lashes. This one just gives such length and volume and curl to my upper lashes without being clumpy. It is the one I'm wearing on my lashes now. I don't have the most amazing lashes. My lashes still are pretty short, but this is the best that they've ever looked with a mascara on them. My Ride or Die for my lower lashes is my L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black, because it has such a tiny skinny wand and it makes my lower lashes so easy to do. So these 2 mascaras in combination are definitely my holy grails. For lip liner, I don't have a favorite lip liner. I'm not a lip liner person. It's honestly a step that I skip altogether. My favorite Ride or Die lipstick is the L'Oreal JLo's Nude. I love this lipstick so much. Look, it's like a little nub now. It's just such a beautiful sheer pink. This was the lipstick I wore on my prom. So whenever I smell it or I wear it, it just gives me like throwbacks to prom, and that's another reason why I absolutely love this. I think the packaging is so cute with the black and gold, but this is what the color looks like. It's a super easy to throw on sheer pink color. It is very glossy. It's such a nice refresh compared to a liquid lipstick, but I love this. I'm definitely gonna be repurchasing a new one. My Ride or Die lip gloss is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. This is what it looks like right next to that lipstick right there. I don't know if you guys can really see. It's a super sheer wash of color. Some of them are more pigmented than others, but I love the scent of these. They just smell like cake. It smells so good. They're super inexpensive. I believe they're around $4.99, and they always are like buy one get one half. They're such a good deal. They don't last the longest amount of time, but that makes them super duper comfortable. I loved bringing these to school with me because I could just throw them on. They're nice and moisturizing. The Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee is definitely my Ride or Die lip gloss. You guys know liquid lipstick has completely just dominated the beauty community, the makeup industry lately. Every brand is coming out with their own form of liquid lipsticks. I've tried my fair share, and my Ride or Die is definitely the Anastasia liquid lipsticks. In particular, this is the shade Dusty Rose. This is so lightweight. It's so moussey. It dries completely. It doesn't transfer, but I do not feel like I have anything on my lips right now. They are not drying whatsoever. They work so well for my lips. Even though they're completely matte, completely dry, my lips don't look like they have all those lines or cracks in them. They are just such a beautiful formula. Like I said, super comfortable. They're super moussey. I reach for this shade like crazy. It's just perfect for all year round. I love it, especially in the fall. It's just a beautiful, again, just like Dusty Rose. I don't really know how else to explain it. A super nice mauve-y nude color, and I love how it looks on my lips. I absolutely love the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks. Definitely my Ride or Die, and I cannot wait to get more of these. My Ride or Die setting spray, I don't have one for you guys. I tried different setting sprays. I've tried the All Nighter, the Wet n Wild. I really like the Wet n Wild. The Wet n Wild is definitely better than Urban Decay All Nighter, but I can't say that like I love it. I don't see a drastic difference in my foundation staying on or my makeup staying on. I definitely see how it prolongs, but it's not like a huge thing where I'm like, I love this, this is amazing, this is my Ride or Die, you know what I mean? The last category in the Jaclyn Hill Ride or Die tag is what is your Ride or Die perfume, and it's the Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb. I love this perfume so much. It's floral but musky and sweet at the same time. It just smells so good. I think the packaging's so cute, and you can see like I'm literally almost out, and I'm so upset because this is a little more on the pricey side, but it's definitely so Ride or Die that I would totally repurchase this. All right guys, so that concludes my Ride or Die makeup tag. I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing all my favorite products, my Ride or Dies, my holy grails, what I would repurchase, things like that. If I did miss a step, let me know, ask me in the comments, and I will answer that for you guys. Other than that, I think I covered everything. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Definitely check out my social medias if you want makeup updates, YouTube updates when I'm uploading, things like that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
She looks good in a sundress. Lips are so